Rex White called me. Rex had won the championship in a Chevrolet in 1960. And he said Chevrolet would like to have an up-and-coming young driver that would like to run all the races. And he said, I've recommended you. Would you be interested in doing that? And I said, yeah, if I can get help, I'll do anything.
They asked me to recommend somebody that they could help with parts, and I just thought Ned would be a good candidate.
Chevrolet has won here 4 times. This is their top combination. Mechanic Bud Altman, driver Ned Jarrett.
Bud Altman was his mechanic. I thought they would be a good combination and win some races, and evidently I was right.
We lucked up and won a championship then in 1961 in that Chevrolet and beat Rex White, the man who had helped me to get the deal.
Ned scored just 1 win in the championship run, but consistency had placed him atop the points. Despite the on-track accomplishment, the public persona of Ned Jarrett needed some refinement.
He went down to the banquet to receive the accolades, being a champion and everything, but they asked him to make a talk, and my dad couldn't make a talk. He was embarrassed about, he never had to do that before. And he promised himself, he said, I'll never have that happen again. I'll never be embarrassed to get up in front of a group of people again. So he immediately came home and took the Dale Carnegie course.
I was not prepared for a championship at that time. I didn't know how to represent my family or my sport the way that I wanted to, and I vowed that I would win the championship again, and I would be better prepared.
This is Bob Montgomery speaking from trackside. Alongside me is Ned Jarrett. And Ned, this is the one that's the plum of the pie.
Well, it certainly is. Of course, we always like running in this 600-mile race because there's more money involved here than anywhere else.
After that, I would be sought out, really, by the few media members who were covering the sport.
Ned, you were drafting, following another car real close. Which driver has the most control over his car?
Well, of course, drafting tends to pick the speeds of both cars up when we're on a high-speed racetrack.
People started calling on me for talks to churches or business meetings or whatever it might be. And I was interested in doing it, willing to do it, because I thought it would be good for the sport, and I thought it would be good for me in preparing myself for that next championship.
Thank you.
Ned Jarrett puts it all down in writing. He doesn't guess. He has a complete set of specifications for every setting on the car and for every track.
Shock absorbers, I think we should run the same numbers. In fact, you should just take this sheet and just set the car up exactly like we had it set up the last time.
Same thing.
Ned Jarrett followed his 1961 championship season with 14 wins in the next 2 years. Performance, paired with the Chevy driver's marketable image, made another manufacturer take interest.
Ford called and asked if I would be interested in moving to Camden, South Carolina, and managing a team for Bondi Long. Bondi Long, his mother had married a DuPont, and so they had started a race team for Bondi, and they didn't have a direction that they needed because they didn't have anyone with experience.
Ford saw the potential in matching a brainy young mechanic to a seasoned driver with an understanding of racing and business.
When they offered us what they offered, to sponsor the car for a year, give us all the cars, the parts that we needed, that was so much better than where we were.
Bondi Long owns Ned's racing cars, and Bondi supervises the pit crew, the same crew that prepares the race cars.
I personally wanted to work on the car, but I was a hands-on person.
Bondi was a whiz at tuning engines. He could make a car go fast.
And in the same lap with him now is the runner-up Jarrett, also enjoying his loftiest position of the day.
The race is past the 300-mile mark now, with Ned Jarrett and Fred Lorenzen passing the lead back and forth.
We won 15 races that first year with Bondi Long and should have won the championship, but we had some engine problems.
Ford was having a valve spring problem, but we blew 23 engines that year.
Now Jarrett's headed for the pits. He goes behind the wall and out with a blown engine.
Ned's tenacity made him a respected rival, but he was just as good at winning races as he was at winning friends.